Good morning, folks. We are going to continue with art production for Spelljammer Combat Exploration. Give me a minute here to check my signal and make sure I'll go through my spiel real quick, and then we'll dive into this. Hold on real quick. My spiel real quick, and then we'll dive into this. Hold on real quick. Dive into this. Hold on. Pleasant little cough there. Great. So yeah, great. I've just posted that I'm live on Twitter. So if you want to find out when I'm live in the future, you can follow me on Twitter as well at Phil Kearney, like my name spelled down below. We'll go through my spiel real quick and then we'll get started. So my name is Phil. Hey, I create role-playing game supplement PDFs. I am currently publishing 5e content. I publish on the DMsGuild. There is a link below to a slew of work that I've already produced in the past. You can click on any of those DMsGuild links to lead you to some of the other work that I've created already. All the work that I produce is always 100% free preview, so you can always read my material cover to cover, just like if you're at a bookstore before you decide to purchase. That way you know what you're getting, and hopefully you're buying it because you appreciate it. So if you do, leaving a 5-star rating, commentary, that'd be fantastic and appreciated. There is on mobile phones, if you click into any of those books and you dive into the product page of them on the website, there's about 150 different illustrations across those books. So like if you're on a mobile phone, you'll see an eye icon on the right hand side of the screen, and if you're on a desktop or tablet, the book cover, like you'd see here, the book cover, and then down below that is the it says full preview. So if you click the full preview link or the eye icon, either one will throw open a PDF. Be able to read the entire book cover to cover. If you like the art, awesome. That's why we make it. If you're a D&D enthusiast and you find any of these mechanics useful or inspiring to you, or something you want to try to integrate into your own campaigns in the future, consider making a purchase or run through the campaign first and see how it comes out on the back end. I've run campaigns in D&D from level 1 to the last level 20 in about 250 some odd hours myself. So everything that I build is meant to be played and is used. So be welcome, ask me anything. I love the input. And so we're going to go ahead and rearrange our screens here real quick. Help us out with a like, subscribe, bell icon, and consume some hours of content to help me push over the 1,000 subscriber mark and to the 4,000 hours of annual content viewed, so that we can monetize the channel. And when we get to the point where this channel is monetized, then I'll get paid every day to make art. So help me be part of the dream of a paid artist. So there was one little thing, and we're going to dive into this here. This is a token of an elven soldier that we had produced yesterday. I'm not 100% happy. I mean, it's still a little rough, but that's okay. But clean up here. I just noticed that perspective was off just a touch yesterday, so I wanted to fix that. I'll lock that down. So this is the a part of the illustration that words McDoodle for the Astral Elf Commander. I'm going to go and make sure I grab that whole thing. D&D Beyond, and source is Spelljammer, booze, menagerie, elf equals yeah, they need a full illustration. I'm not going to do a full page, so we're going to copy, but we are going to gank that image. Let's make sure we have enough. Jasmine Crew. just to make sure we have enough enough body reference so that. Yips, there we go. That should be fine. I probably won't need it, but actually I might need it considering the scaling I have going on here. I bet I can suss this thing out for the most. Cool. So let's go. Bop, bop. Warrior is a lock. Bop, bop, bop. Elf commander. These guys show up in charge. Like they are the captain and siege commanders for the Elven Star Mobs that the team has to fight in the first few chapters of the Light of Xaryxis adventure, and again in the last few chapters of Light of Xaryxis. So in between, they're not much of a threat. They show, but a couple show up early, and then you got a lot showing up at the end. And spoiler alert. And so yeah, they are a threat throughout the campaign. I'm going to reduce that down. I'm going to drop this down to 1 pixel. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Press that button. Cool. What are we doing here? Where are we going with this piece? Starting to get Oh, that was fun. Down in the same layer. Good job, Green. There we go. Yeah, we did some diagrams last night on the pages of the text that we've been working on, and it was difficult. I was having trouble with that. I think when I woke up this morning, reflecting on the stream from last night, and I think I can rearrange that information. I think I need to parse out that information a little bit more, like reorganize it. So like we were first addressing how large do the ships appear at the different scales at 500 feet, 50 feet, and then up to 5 feet scale. Like how do the ships look when you zoom in to these different scales, and then how did the ship look when they move on the map, and then how do you transfer? How do you transition from or change scale from 50 to 500 to 50, like back and forth from the 50 to 500 to 50 to 5 and back up? What does that look like in combat? So I think if I break down the steps that way, it'll probably eat up the same amount of page space, but I think it'll be better organized. I think I'm trying to be too casual with the description. I think I need smaller chunks of text information and more visual assets to really just hold people's hands through the process of this is what they look like at these different scales. Here's how their movement looks. Here's how it looks when you transition from one size to the next, and how does that play out in the round of combat. I think if I do that, it'll be a lot more clear about what your actions are at each scale and how you transition back and forth and how smooth you can do that. Excuse me. There, actually, that sounded good. And hopefully my throat's clear now. It's, I think the stream could have gone better. It's a pretty big piece of humble pie that I think I get to eat occasionally when I do these things, and it's I guess that's why I do them live, to and have the opportunity to show that this stuff's difficult. It's, you know, I don't mind showing showing the flaws of the process, especially because the end results for all these different works that we've done, I've been so thrilled with. So I don't mind having to, yeah, I don't mind. It's part of the process of messing up and having to start over again and do it differently. It's not pretty, and it's probably horrible content as far as like YouTube is concerned. But that was one of the design goals of this project, or just streaming in general, was to you know, show the wins and the losses in the process of building stuff. So it's just to you know, kind of punctuate the whole concept, the whole commentary here is that we play tested with 16 different people, and every one of them got it within a few minutes of playing it. So there's gotta be, I think if I can reorganize this, like if I can reorganize this stuff, I think it'll be easier to be able to walk people through the actual process of here's how this stuff works, and it can't be that in person I can explain these things and get people on board and playing a game and running these things within just a matter of minutes, and not be able to do the same in text. Like it can't require. I'm overcomplicating it is what it must be, because it's so dummy simple. When you just walk through it, it's so simple that it would be so complicated to be able to express in print. It's just, I'm doing it wrong. So, and I don't know until I know. You write the book, and then you start filling in all the images, and that's when you discover, oh, I can't express something a particular way because it doesn't jive with how the images are. What to say, like the way that the material gets expressed on diagrams and charts and stuff, if it doesn't match how you're describing it in the text, you have to reconsider, is the text that we provided, is that accurate? Like, is that the best way of expressing something? And in these instances, I think the answer is no. So I get to go back to the drawing board, rewrite some of that content, break it down in a different way, so that hopefully we'll be able to have that text rearranged and be able to move forward with something that people are going to get. Like, what I want is for people just to intuitively get what we're doing, so that they can more easily make rulings. You know, like, one of the most difficult things about 5th edition is that how to express this. It's I am very much in favor of the rulings over rule format, but to be able to properly implement a rulings, to force for the DMs to have to rely on their own rulings and judgment on what's good for the game, they need abundant examples of rules and how to apply those rulings. Like, you need precedences. Like the Supreme Court or any court makes rulings all the time, and most of those rulings are based on precedents of previous examples of how these situations play out. And when there's a lack of example content to make those rulings, then you've got an incomplete system. And any ruling is no ruling is official. It's only the rules are official, and it's how you translate those rules that builds your game. But if you're not an experienced DM, you might not know what is a good way to process this, or if you're in a setting that's so different, like Spelljammer, from what is normal for a D&D game. Like, how likely is it for you to be able to notice a drifting person, 10 miles away from your ship in the void? It's like, well, there's no atmospheric disturbance, so you don't have that 3-mile limit that you would have on Earth. Now it's a matter of how small of an object is there a chance for you to see when you're just casually looking. Well, we have answers for that. We have a size by distance breakdown of different scaling objects for you to have the chance to notice or to detect on your on the orrery on your ship. So like those are that's a very simple, basic, but immediately relatable example of how these mechanics are useful for people. Now it's just a matter of me making sure that I'm expressing them properly, so it's as easy for people to implement as as intended. So see that swirly doodle. What does this button do? I do need this. What the what? Eat your French toast. Wait. We'll figure it out. And when we do, it'll be a huge victory. This takes a little time, apparently. But it's taking time. I wish it didn't, but... I feel like I just want to twist this whole thing around by 15%. I can't rotate stuff. It's not a three-dimensional object. Wouldn't that be weird? If you could draw something and then the computer would be able to figure out what its angles would be in three-dimensional space, so that I would be able to have the computer rotate this around, so the hand was here and the angle was like that. That's wow, that'd be cool. I bet that'll happen. We're gonna get there. like I'm drawing in 2 dimensions, but eventually the computers are going to get to the point where they would then be able to like take that, know what your perspective angle is, and then render it automatically in a 3-dimensional space and rotate it for you. I think we're going to get there. I believe that's where AI is heading. I'm liking this pose, man, and I'm liking these proportions. This is a good character. This is going to have good. Gotta make sure we don't accidentally Nazi it out a little bit, you know? Oh crap, I think I just demonetized myself. But yeah, make no doubt, these elves are fascists, man. They're bad news. Their national pride is to the point where they will just destroy entire worlds to save. Instead of taking the loss and moving on to a system that isn't dying, I don't blame them for wanting to keep their home world. It's just I'm not down with them destroying entire civilizations to do so. It's just, that's a pretty easy foe to get, you know, try to get rid of. Hey, how you doing? I'm gonna fix my window here so I can see all your text. And Donnie, hello. Today I haven't forgotten about the stream. Hey, right on, man. You are welcome to come and go as you please. I just appreciate you being around. This is the armor for an Elven commander. We did the Elven Soldier yesterday, so now we are the first ship that spoiler alerts for Light of Xaryxis. So cover your ears if you're concerned about it. But the first ship the teams run across is an Elven Star Moth that they have to fight, and if the fight goes well, it gets them on the Elves shit list pretty quick. So that's an encounter worth having. And so each spelljamming ship has a captain, a helmsman, and then additional officers. And there's three weapons, siege weapons on a typical Star Moth, and 2 ballistas and a mangonel, which is like one of those little stone throwing catapult things. It's a weird name, but there it is. Catapult is like a classification of weapon. Like ballistas, trebuchet, and mangonels are all catapults. I always grew up thinking that a catapult was just the thing that threw stones, but apparently trebuchet are also in that same category. And basically anything that launches large objects at similarly large objects is considered a catapult. So that was fun to clarify that. But anyway, the point is that there's 3 of these siege weapons aboard a Star Moth, and so using the system that we've built, the system that Wizards of the Coast presented doesn't require more than a pilot to be able to make a ship work. So the only crew that you need aboard your ship are those that would work siege weapons to attack other ships. They don't actually do anything to modify the maneuverability or speed of the vessel, and I'm fine with that. It's a magic boat. You don't have that problem in Eberron. Eberron just has a pilot that's commanding the elemental engine that flies the airship, and Eberron's awesome. So I'm all for that. I think Wizards made a good decision with simplifying how spelljamming ships work. But so now you've got these siege engines that have crews to load, fire, aim the siege weapon. So typically with the system that we use, the default is the roles that we have are for pilot, and then there's a support role that helps. I'm going to word that differently. There's the pilot that makes the ship go. There's a siege commander role that is you're taking command of crewmen to load, aim, fire a siege weapon. And then there's also a support role, which is a character or a creature that can like provide advantage to piloting checks or to siege attacks, or can help with reactions like to lessen like Spelljammer shock for the pilot if they get into like if they could potentially lose their focus due to taking damage for the ship. The support role can help make sure that the pilot doesn't lose concentration in that process. And there's also a siege commander role, which is similar to there's a squadron commander role, which is similar to the siege commander role, but instead of commanding siege weapons, you're commanding entire ships, like additional ships beyond the one that you're on. So there's those 4 basic roles, and so you can command multiple siege machines to fire as a squad, as a group of weapons. But the reload rate slows down tremendously doing so. So you would want to have, normally if you're in combat, you want to have a siege commander for each siege weapon. So there's a number of these commanders, elven commanders, that are aboard each Starmoth. One for each siege weapon, so that they can have that consistent firing rate. So in the first encounter, you've got a slew of weapons. You got one ship, but you've got 3 weapons aboard each ship. So it's a decent fight for. Oh man, I got some real Hitler stuff going on here right now. I don't know about this. Hitler screwed everything up, man. How are you supposed to be like, go? Like go, and not look like you're just like throwing hands for Hitler, It's like, it's a problem. It's a legit problem. Damn it, Hitler. It's such a basic human gesture to be screwed up so badly. It's a tiny bit distracting. Oh, the music? Yeah, thank you. How's that? Is that a better ratio? Oh, you know what? Thank you. That's good feedback. We'll just have to make sure that nobody comes along and mirrors the token, I guess. If I can get a point out of it, I think that'll be better. Hopefully, is this coming through better now? Sound checking is something I'm not very good with. I also mutter sometimes, so that doesn't help the ratios at all. Bit more. That's better. Okay. How's that? Is that coming in clean? Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Check. The ratios last night were horrible. The music was way too loud. I'm still trying to figure out like a good position for the microphone boom that I have, and not like block my engagement or my field of vision. But I like having I got the screen going, so you can't really see it, but it's like it's literally like right like hello. This is where my microphone boom is right off screen, so you can't see it when it fades into the background. So I'm not sure if the Windows mixer is affecting. It might get the audio from the app you are using instead of the speakers. Is it still screwed up? Is that? I mean, this is a really quiet part of the song. Keep me updated. If it continues to be a problem, we'll figure it out. Let's go with. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, how's this? Mic check. Is this coming through much better now? This might just have to be something I do. Hopefully that made a difference. Not sure if the window mixer is affecting it. It might be audio. Yeah, let me know if this is any better. And this might just be something that we'll have to figure out. You can't hear it at all now? Let's go with... oh, I can drop the... Let's see. Jeez McCrow. How's that? Am I coming through okay? Maybe like that. How's that doing? Is that coming through okay? I'm gonna check it out myself. Where is my... you know, I really should be saying something if I'm going to try to test this stuff out.
You know, I really should be saying something if I'm going to try to test this stuff out. You know, I really should be saying something if I'm going to try to test this stuff out. You know, I really should be saying something if I'm going to...
Yeah, no, that's horrible. I need to stop doing that immediately. Okay, we're looking for a solid reset. All right, mic check 1 2 3. Let's see how that goes. All right, mic check 1 2 3. Let's see how that goes. All right, mic check 1 2 3. Let's see how that goes. All right. That seems better. Am I right? Does that sound better? I mean, hey, sound balance is important. If it's all fucked up, it's all fucked up, right? I got to figure it out. So maybe I can just change the volume on Epidemic. Let's see. Let's do that. And then we'll be here on the sound mix. We go to there, bring this down a bit. Go back here. There, and burp. Clear that out. Take that down to there. bring that to there. I'll check it out. I might have to mess around with the OBS settings. I don't know if I improved anything or not, but that's okay. It's, you know, this whole thing is a work in progress. So if it's, we'll figure it out. But I appreciate the input. You can have the web volume at 40%, and it's pretty good. Okay, so we're okay now? This is good. And you can still hear it. I can hear it, so I guess that's the important part. I do it, I mean, it's not the kind of music I want to listen to. I'd rather be listening to Tool or Pantera or Sepultura, but this is what it, you know, I can't license any of that stuff, so. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, well, I'll take your word for it at this point. You know, a distraction is only a distraction if it's not useful. So, cheers, man. I appreciate that. There, and I am choking on this arm. I just have to tear that whole thing off and build it again. Here. Get our clavicle going here. Got our armpit going here. And then our arm comes out there. Ball joint here. Elbow. That's a little quieter than I want. Let's get something new on the block. See if that comes through. Come on, my dude. There you go. There's something bippity boppity bacon. I bumped up the overall volume, so hopefully both my microphone and the music's a little bit louder, but it's loud enough that I can hear it more easily. So hopefully I'm still more pronounced than the sound of the music. Boom. Here. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, I can put it to rest now. Cheers. Hi. Jeez, the crack. This hand. Way too up and at a moki doke. Free transform equals skew. Let's drop that down a bit. So yeah, Siege Commander role. So you've got, I mean, the you can have your team work together. The action economy that your character spends each round can be distributed amongst your own individual actions, as well as the different actions you can take playing these roles. So like a pilot could also be a siege commander. It can also be a support character, but you can't support yourself. But you could, like, if you had a siege commander that was firing weapons, the pilot could act as a support for that siege commander to like give them, like, to help, like, to take the aim action to help them gain advantage on their attack roll when they make their next siege weapon attack. Like a pilot could do that. A siege commander could play the support role and give a pilot advantage on a Constitution saving throw to prevent losing concentration when taking damage from the ship. So you can mix and match your rolls like that. And so you can also command multiple weapons at a time, and it slows down the reload rate so that it takes longer to you need to reload more often. You have to take actions to reload more often if you're commanding multiple weapons. So what you can do, and the way that we have it sequenced, is that the captain of the ship is playing a support role, but the initial, like when the ships first encounter each other, all the weapons are ready to attack. So the captain can order a silo of fire, like all three weapons can fire together as a single command. But then each of the individual siege weapon commanders can use their action economy to make sure the weapons are reloaded, and then take command of each individual weapon if the DM wants to distribute actions across different targets. But so you can oscillate between having the captain firing all weapons and then having the individual siege crews commanding themselves to reload and aim again. And you can then continue to have them operate independently to fire at will, or they can align they can coordinate all of their attacks together as a single silo with a single command. So you can have those extra commanders that are on deck are there to help smooth out the siege weapon attack rate of fire. And they can also, if you're in command of a weapon, you can use your reaction to have that weapon like ready in attack, for instance, using the ready action. And so you can have multiple commanders in charge of their own individual siege weapons and ready multiple different silos, or you can have, again, the captain of the ship use her reaction to ready all weapons to fire, but the commander's playing the support role to help the pilot retain concentration during combat. So it's unlikely that the commander is going to have the action economy to both do duties, to double down on those duties. You only get one reaction per round. So the actual captain is going to most likely be investing her action economy into supporting the pilot overall, and thus the individual siege commanders' roles are important to be able to coordinate the weapons attacks with what the ship is doing. Hopefully that makes some sense. So I don't know if I'm expressing myself well, but it's a really fluid system. So once you're aboard the ship and you decide, how can you best help the ship, you can share that role with other people, for for multiple characters to work together towards one end, or they can each play individual roles to help the ship in their own unique ways. And there's also spell casting. You could be lobbing spells at another ship or whatever it is that you want to do there, or like healing spells to help heal up the pilot on the ship, or the siege commander to take damage for the siege crews if they're being targeted by an enemy ship attack. I don't have a timer set. My whole world is goofballs. It's almost 7 o'clock, and I don't have a timer going. I'm like, why am I not hearing sounds? There. 20 minutes on the block. We still got an hour to go. I'm going to have a drink of coffee. That arm is way too stubby now. Oh, man. That brings us back to dope. Doo-doo-doo. Oh my god, I hate this. I am hating this pose. This is just I am fighting it so much. It cannot be the right decision. Let's reevaluate this. I like this character in general. Hey, text. No, I mean, not specifically. I'm trying to go for a gesture of pointing. Like, you know, fire. That sort of thing. Here, maybe I just need to maybe I just need to do some figure drawing here. Maybe this is an instant where that'll help us out. I mean, that's pretty much immediately what we were attempting to do. I want to change that angle a bit. There we go. That feels a lot better. This arm's too bulky, though. I need to thin it down. Sometimes I'm my own worst enemy. And I tend to make things more complicated than they need to be. So... cheers. Clean that up a touch. There. I think the trick is don't get frustrated. Like let the pixels flow, you know? There. Oh, I see what's going on. This is like a round piece. Interesting. Like that. There we go. That's feeling better. Hey, Hornetico, it's good to see you, my dude. So far, so good, man. I got a little bit of rest last night. I need to reformat the text and presentation of the scaling combat system. I'm not pleased with last night's content was. I enjoyed the process, but I realized that I could probably explain the scaling mechanics a lot more smoothly. I just need to readdress it, rebuild it. So I've been choking on these 3 pages of layout of like how to explain these, like how to explain the movement and how to combine the text and the images of the diagrams, like how to make those two things work together, and they keep fighting each other, which means that I'm trying to overcomplicate it again. Like just like this illustration here, I was overcomplicating things. If I simplify stuff and just get down to the basics of what it is that we're supposed to be doing, I think I can make. I think I can just do it better. So I'm going to spend time tonight and tomorrow rebuilding those pages to break it down a little bit more, so it's more digestible, and then I think we'll be okay. Because the movement mechanics, like scaling in and out of size, is very simple. Once you know what you're doing, it makes perfect sense. Like the scale into 50 feet, or the pan out to 500 feet, or down to 5 feet, depending on what scale you want to work in. It's easy to do it. It's just my challenge is explaining it in text, like as a visual element, instead of just like explaining to you during the game. I have to be able to explain that stuff accurately in the text for it to be a product. So, and I'm learning, and when I first built the document and pass it off for edits, it's like the way that I express things made sense, but now that I'm trying to build the diagrams and the maps to visualize it, I'm like, oh, this is not running nearly as smoothly as I hoped it would. So I have to reassess and rewrite. But that's why we get paid the big bucks. There we go. I think I can make that head just a little bit bigger. Not too much though. I gotta make sure these arms. No, actually no. I gotta make these arms work. So that is a bulkier body than what an elf would present. Let's see. The angle is wrong though. That was a correct assessment. This pauldron's pissing me off. That's what's going on right now. Here, this is how the body works. That's how the body works. This is the most complicated mechanical, like the most mechanically complicated document that I've ever created. Like game mechanics. The game mechanics are more. That's not an accurate statement. How to put it? There's more original mechanics in this document than any other product that I've produced before. So it's not surprising that it's taking time for me to properly express like what the mechanics are. Like I don't have any precedents to really explain how these mechanics work to use as a frame of reference. I kind of have to. We're inventing it as we go, and that causes us to have to, just like with a stupid arm, you have to kind of go back and redo it a couple of times, and we'll sort it out. The system's too good to not think that there's a way to do this properly. So we'll get there. We'll figure it out. Let's get rid of these pauldrons for now, just to keep things simple. So I can tell now I need to drop this arm a bit. That also tells me Like this arm should be hitting about the bottom of the rib cage, right? So if that's where the rib cage is at. The challenge I'm facing right now is I'm picking up on this. One of my personal flaws as an artist is that I'm pretty good at gesture drawing, like loose gesturing. Like they're really dynamic, but you can see here, like the more I put this, the more I attend to accurate anatomy, the more the less dynamic the posture becomes. Like most of the energy of my posing comes from inaccurate anatomy. So what I have to, what my constant challenge is, how accurate do I need to make the anatomy to feel right as a creature, but still retain the energy of the pose. So that's like one of my major steps that I need to continue developing and learning is how to resolve that conflict. And it's a lot better. Like I used to. Like poses used to come out very wooden as a result of cleaning up the anatomy. And as I get more familiar and comfortable with anatomy, I can manipulate it more so it stays dynamic. But there's still that risk. Pose dynamism is always tough. Sometimes you just have to decide where your rigid fluid bounces, and that goes into, again, that speaks to style. If you can develop, like look at Wayne Reynolds. Wayne Reynolds is like the go-to character artist for Pathfinder. But when he makes a pose, like he'll do like front leg, back leg in these like great dynamic stances, but like the back leg will be like 2/3 the size of the front leg. Like his front leg like really juts out with goofy perspective, and the back leg stays pretty much in proportion to what you would expect the body to be. So he really manipulates proportions to drive dynamics, to like distort the perspective and the depth of the character. But if like you just look at it coldly, you can see in a lot of his works like how things are really skewed. But you don't pick up on it initially because of the amount of just good dynamic posing and detail on the character. You can tell it's a stylist decision because his technical ability to create, objects and filigree and stuff is excellent. So he's making a very conscious choice about. I need to merge this down if I want to. No, I do not want to flatten my image. Thank you kindly. There. But then that. Again, speaks to style. He's intentionally allowing his anatomy to be skewed to help feed into the posture, and he gets crap for it. But that doesn't prevent his work from being cool. It's just recognizing the technique. It's his style. So. Like his stuff wouldn't be nearly as dynamic if his proportions were proper. So that is an intentional concession to produce the results that he's appreciated for. That is a well-developed style. I am clearly not going to get this thing finished today. That's a shame. I was hoping to be able to peel through one. Well, it's only 7. Seriously? It's only 7? Holy shit. That's great. I have an hour. Maybe I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. That feels pretty good. Okay. Once we get the anatomy locked down, I can start armoring up. Sometimes you can hide anatomy inside of armor, but I'm less and less interested in attempting to do that. I evolved initially from drawing giant robots. Like I was a big Robotech nut when I was a kid. It's a quintessential mecha cartoon from Japan, and I was an '80s kid. So Robotech was huge. That's when I started doing artwork, figuring out how to create Veritex and Most Piata, and from there, I evolved into armored suits, like knights, you know. And as I got further and further into playing D&D during that time, that's what got me into. Well, I was already interested in knights and medieval stuff, castles and stuff like that. So playing D&D was a pretty natural transition for me from the initial interest I had shown in artwork. So my parents encouraged it and ended up getting me D&D books for my birthday. And that's when I started really getting into, drawing characters. And so I went from mecha to full armor. And as I played D&D more, I became less and less satisfied with characters. Like, I want to draw this character, but this character doesn't wear full armor. What am I supposed to do about that? And that's when I started getting into anatomy and like actual art. Thank you, Timely Timer. Just keep it going. All right, well, if we get rid of that, how well do you fill this space, my friend? That's not bad. I'm pretty happy with how that space is being filled. Pretty good with the posture. You can pull in that pose a little bit, get some of that hip back into it. It's that sway. It's like getting that curve going that helps the energy of the pose. Like that. All right, that arm is the right height. This arm back here is now too small. Oy vey, God, can I fight this picture some more? really am just fighting myself today. Like, God, I'm just like I can just feel all the energy just draining out of this piece as I move. There. And here. Nice. Get that sway back in. Gotta have that sway. Let's go with perspective. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're back. Nice. Okay. The weird thing is that the artwork that they have here for this character, this is the Astral Elf Commander, but all the Astral Elf Commanders in the adventure are male. They have a female commander here, but none of the elves in Light of Xaryxis, other than Princess Dahlia, are female. They're all males. That feels like a weird disconnect. That they'd have all the soldier types in the Boo's Menagerie be female, but not have any female representation in the military for the Astral Elves. That's a weird. This feels like a weird decision to me. I don't think the art directors that they're using at WotC are really coordinating. I think they have to put in. I think they're putting in the order for the art before they necessarily know what they're going to use the art for, which I can't really shit on them too heavily for. But one of the strengths as an indie developer that's both creating and illustrating the content being produced is I can coordinate these things a little better to make sure that the art assets I'm producing are productive for whatever those assets are being used at. So I'm trying to get the gender fixed on this. But elves have that kind of feminine sway to them anyway in general. Like when I think elf, I never think toxic masculinity. Just doesn't seem to be on flavor for elves. I mean, they can be bastards and evil, but like toxic just doesn't seem like their MO at all. I just think that they live long enough that they just like all their piss loses its fizz, you know? Where was I at before I started fucking this up? Let's go back to those times. Yeah, that actually is really pretty good. Let's keep that. There we go. There. There we go. Now I'm starting to really fall into place for me. shell going around. There we go. Keep gotta keep curve into this piece. Hold on. Thank you. I think I got what, 20 minutes left? 7:30. Yeah, I got another 20 minutes. All right. Well, I'm probably not gonna get this piece finished then. Let's see. So that height is good, and that's it's too broad. That's what's going on here. Fuck all, dude. Somehow this evolved into a difficult pose. What the fuck did I just do? Retransform. Oy vey. go fighting it again. Fuck all. Crap. Cut that arm off. I don't want to bring it down too much because it gets rid of the energy. Here to here. There. I'm going to stow that arm for a few. Just to get it off the screen so I don't have to look at it. See if we can get that bend back into. Transform. What does this do? It helps. There. Feels better now. I don't need. There we go. All right, this is starting to shape up. I do need to peel this arm off. cut, paste. Here, I'm gonna make a trash folder. Trash. You're trash. No, you're trash. You're trash. Ooh. I'm certainly not saying a lot right now. Sorry about that, guys. Not very exciting to listen. There. Better. Feeling much, much better about it. Boy, this piece has just been a struggle today, guys. Earning my dollars for sure. There. It's turning out pretty good. I think this is another instance of me being able to zoom in a bit more and not have to worry too much about the lower anatomy. Barf. Nice. All right, we're almost done. We're almost done for the day. It's 7:45. What is it? 7:40? 7:43. Yeah, we got 10 minutes left. There's a considerable difference in trying to reproduce something like the Captain Sartell art that we did. It only took an hour for me to be able to finish that character, but I also didn't have anything I had to reference or reproduce with it. So I had considerably different energy going into that project or into that particular piece than like what we got going on here. I think that's definitely a factor that goes in with like how freely I feel I can operate and blah. That feels pretty good though. I think I can get away with that. All right, so let's merge those down. Narp. There you go. Cha-cha-cha. I'm starting to become self-aware of how little I'm talking today, and that makes me feel bad. Come on, Pixels, flow, man. All right, well, it's good that we're almost done for the day because I'm about to start bashing my head against a wall on this. I like keep oscillating between happy with it, hating it, happy, hating. I really just need to. It's good that we're about done for the day because I need a break. Nothing but hate on this guy. All he wants to do is point his finger. It's not his fault. Oh, man, it's starting to feel better. Whew. Even my coffee pot's hissing at me. Oh, man. Okay, great. This thing's finally starting to lock in for me. Like, for real. I'm pretty sure I'm actually happy with this. I mean, it's still rough. It's got work to do, but... It's been a while since I fought anatomy and gesturing so much in a piece. It's a nice piece of humble pie for my morning. Not expected flavor. Good, it's good. Good, it's good. Let's work on that gesture a little bit more. The hand. All right, well, that's my time for the day. So, wish I'd gotten further along than I did, but, you know, sometimes I gotta take an L. Sign off here in a minute. Yeah. So far, so good. All right, we're going to go ahead and cut it here. I got to go for the day. I'll be back in the morning. So let's see. It's 8 o'clock now. I'll be back in approximately 25 hours. So we'll be back on for another 2-hour kick. Might be doing some, I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. Probably charts and diagrams in the document itself. We'll see. I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out, actually. For whatever reason, it's got these ribbons. But I'll go with it. All right, guys, that's it for the day. I'm going to go ahead and cut here. Still got some work to do on this, but I mean, as far as a gesture overall, it's not bad. I've done worse. It is after, I mean, it is after all just a stupid little token. This is about the scale that would actually be on your VTT, so it's certainly getting the job done. One more little nitbit. I really don't have any complaint about that. It's coming along. It's just taking longer than I want. But as far as like all the stuff, it's hitting the marks. So I'm pretty happy with it. We'll be back in about we'll be back in 25 hours for another 2-hour kick. Don't know what we're gonna work on at all, but I'll be back. So hoping to see you guys then. I know I had some gouts of silence, but anyway, whatever. I'll see you guys on the other side. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a great day. See you. Cheers.